And then Sarah's not gonna be here because she's still on.
Sarah's on vacation and we
Right, you got it.
I've got it ready. Okay, I'm gonna call this, it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna call this meeting to order at this time. Correspondence, public comment. I don't know if there's anything on the comments. Thank you. Okay, only name on here so far is Chet, so go ahead, want to speak, go ahead.
Good afternoon, my name is Chet Hoffman, I reside at 901 Claremont. I would like to address the board and ask you for your next meeting to put on your agenda consideration of allowing the public to sign up for email notifications. I think with the changeover, the interim changes, there are things that might not intentionally, but simply because there's a change, nobody knows exactly how it worked. Things may get dropped out. Particularly, for example, I think if you have an email group that you send notices to for meetings, you allow the public to opt into that group. I don't think there's any reason why you wouldn't want to do that, but I would ask that you consider it. Thank you.
I have that noted, so that can go on the agenda for the next meeting. All right. Anyone else who wishes to comment at this time? All right, then I'm going to proceed with the item on the agenda. Discussion and action that may occur on any of the following items, an appointment of an interim director. Opening the floor.
Anyone have suggestions for people?
I do.
Okay,
I would like to nominate Tony Edge as interim library director. She's a property owner in Antigo, active patron to our library. In addition, she also tutors children in our library and has volunteered. She's very familiar with the procedures, the environment, and the staff. Tony is well educated. She has 2 master's degree. I have her information here if anyone wants to. Oh, here it is. No, hold on, give me a second. I'll pass this around. Where was I? She has worked in our district previously. She's currently teaches online college courses through the Los Angeles Valley College. I think she would bring new perspective and a fresh eyes to our library. And this is an interim position, so I think it would be.
I have a nominee. Are you finished?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
sorry. I have a nomination on the floor. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All right, open for discussion at this point in time. I appreciate you bringing in.
I do have just a brief discussion as somebody that's been working with our current staff, is that situation would create a hostile work environment because she's already been unkind to many of them. So that's all I'm gonna put out there. That would not be a good fit.
And I just have one question also. Would you, explain though that how the acting right now, anybody that we hire.
They have
We
to
touched
go
on
to-
it briefly the other night, but we didn't go into any detail about a process for it, so. this
They would have to
be
go to
a good
HR,
time.
Melanie Ryan said, and they'd have to work through their process, because they would not be able to have access without going through all the HR steps at the city, because we are all city employees, including
Right.
myself.
I just wanted her to.
Yeah, okay,
give us
okay, so
that-
she go, okay,
Just to give us that background that whoever we pick tonight,
okay.
whoever
They
we
have to
pick
go through
tonight,
that process.
would have to go through that process, they can't take over. like,
Right,
start-
right, you've gotta go through HR.
that's
So with the
right.
nomination get passed or whatever, whomever, excuse me.
Then they have to go see Melanie Ryan.
No,
at-
no
at-
problem.
at
They would
City
have
Hall.
to, be vetted and the process, for any new employee.
Right, kind of same thing like you did,
Yeah.
background check and all that kind of stuff, yep. I second it. I tried to do that.
It was already seconded, we're having discussion.
Okay, sorry, I was lost in the discussion.
Have you talked to him, the library people? Or is he-
The library staff are not interested.
Oh, I wonder, Ram, where in the bylaws or anywhere does it say we cannot talk to employees of the like, 'cause I couldn't find that anywhere.
It's in our trustees essentials, chapter 2.
It's also in chapter 5, it doesn't say you can't talk to them.
Right, doesn't
Yeah,
say
it
that
says under
specifically,
extreme
I misspoke a little bit, but it meant that you are not, you can have a conversation with them, you talk to them, but this is not, this
Yeah,
is
let's just
has
vote
nothing
and
to
do
do
the
with
thing, yeah,
what we're
so,
talking about right now,
Right.
so. You can look it up later, all right, sure.
So I just really wanted to hire in-house, that's why I bring it up, because I was avoiding doing that with a lot of.
Yeah, I will take a comment, yes.
If you'll recognize me, I'd appreciate it. I do have a concern that I just want you to be aware of as a member of the public. There has been, in terms of Miss Edge, I don't have any qualifications or I don't have anything, but I will tell you that she has represented herself in several instances that weren't quite fully disclosed. She indicated that she was a current member of the Antigo School Board and a current member of the school district, and she is not. She finally admitted that when she was asked directly when the mayor had appointed her to the board, and the city council subsequently denied that appointment. So there are some concerns from, I think, some members of the public about her trustworthiness. I just think that's something that should be taken into consideration. She is not a member of the school district. She's not employed by the school district. And that was asked at the last city council meeting. And she clearly at that time indicated that no, she was not in fact an employee of the district. And the district district administrator at that time was the one that was recommending her.
I just have a question, Chet, was that in any minutes? Because even like right now, like she said, you know, like she shared, like she kind of, not she misrepresented, but like like the whole thing with the trustees and where we can't talk is in chapter 2. So my only concern is at this point down the road, unless it's like in the minutes that somebody said this and you can document it, it's just hearsay.
It was actually, she
I
was
was
asked
the one that
verbally.
asked the question about if she was working for the school district. I was the one that asked that.
She also never said she was on the board, so.
She didn't say she was on the
You
board.
said
She
that,
said
you just
You
now
said
said
that.
that.
if I did, I
Just now.
misspoke, and I apologize. She said she was an
He changed
employee
his
of
word, he
the
said
district.
board and then he
No,
said.
I never said I was an employee of the district. I am
She
honest
has
with
I
you.
have that,
I was an employee
She
and
was
I
employed.
not gonna,
resigned and then
All
I
right.
went to White
It
Lake.
doesn't-
And then I was talking about going back to White Lake or to the district and I met with the district administrator and I met with the superintendent.
that's,
But at no point did I say I was employed when I wasn't.
I'm gonna call point of order that we bring the discussion back to the board.
Thank you, because that's what we need to do.
Does-
No more
do you have
outbursts
the
from the
papers?
audience, please.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, please,
I just, well, I'm thinking we made a nomination of a second, then we should vote.
and we should vote.
I agree.
Well,
having discussion.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah, we're having a
I
discussion.
don't know that we should vote until we.
I want everybody here to talk it up. We are not taking any more comments from the audience.
Well, a point of information, I haven't interviewed her or anything for this kind of stuff. You have a financial background or like a office management background enough to like manage the library in this thing? Have you done anything similar?
And then when I worked at Disney, when I was an undergraduate, I was assistant administrator for the software program, and then I had, 3 people who were working under me for that. When I was a graduate advisor, it was more of a advising position, so it wasn't anybody under me, and then managing
Can I speak to
first
that?
graders.
You may speak to that, please.
So, this could
go longer than just a month. The next month, we'll be
Right, well,
hashing
yes.
this over some more. But as the new treasurer, I intend to get a full grasp on the finances. And I know I'm only in that position for a month, but within the next few days, hopefully, I would like to, Kay is out of town this week, or at least not working. And so, as a library board, we should be having a better grasp on the finances anyway. It's really not up to the director, according to our bylaws. And so, I would just like to say that we can handle it.
Yeah.
For a month. And, you know what I'm
Now,
saying?
maybe two, maybe this
I'll
one
do
two.
the best that.
Just for a reminder though, that Kay Medichesky said in a meeting, I don't know if any of you were present, that
Well,
I
excuse
had
me,
a better.
point of order.
Point of order, okay, well, I'm on,
She
Oh, she
still-
can talk?
She can still talk, she's the library director.
Okay,
Let's
okay,
go.
until Saturday.
Thank you, Cheryl, but she said a statement out loud that I had a better grasp of the budget and understanding of any director she'd ever worked with, and I just wanna make that point, because over and over again, I've been battered by that, and that has just been falsity, for falsity has been said about my understanding of the budget. And so I just wanna make sure that's understood, and also, there may be, you know, some changes in how who they have you talk to about the budget, because some things have changed in the city, but anyway, but Kay, in other words, you might have a lot to learn, but there's nothing that I have expressed to you that I haven't understood the budget. Okay, thank you, because I've heard that way too many times and have had that misrepresented, and that's been one of my frustrating experiences, because I spent a lot of time grasping and learning the way, because it's a very complex, the way it's presented and understanding what they meant by their reports, and I do understand it, and
Yes,
that's
it's
explained it.
complex compared to what I'm used to seeing, but,
Yeah.
from being a bookkeeper for 30-some years now, when you spoke, I understood what you were saying, it made sense, and when you were talking about beginning a capital account, that makes sense, it's very sensible, actually, we should have one.
Right,
And,
that's what the fund balance
I
should
have
have been all
never-
those years.
I've never felt that you did an inadequate
Okay, thank you.
job of that.
Others have expressed different feelings, so I just was wanting to clarify that.
So I have a question. So to kind of clarify, by meaning only for a month, is it possible, I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, that do we need to hire an intern right now? Can we take some time to think about? Because I will tell you from having gone through the process of hiring a new director, that's a, you know, none of you have, Barbara's the only other one that has done that. That's a pretty involved process, and it takes time. It was several months before we were, you know, able to finally, you know, and finding them is not going to be easy. I mean, we had Ada and we had, two other applicants, I think, at the time. And one dropped out, right? So trying to keep that in, you know, in our minds, that it isn't gonna happen, we're not gonna have a new director
No.
overnight.
No.
You know, understanding that. And we do have, even though we don't have staff members who want to jump in and have that responsibility as being the acting director, we do have staff they're able to carry on the business, the workings of the library without.
They know how to do payroll,
Right,
process
yeah.
invoices, all those things.
But
They do.
really,
Yes.
someone should be at the helm. You should
And
have,
They would be good help for that person who
Yeah.
have experience.
and the other thing.
And I'm only saying, and I'm not sure, it's gonna be hard for anybody
Well,
to
yeah.
step into that role,
Point of
because
information, is this something that's going to be hard because of the requirements you're trying to find? Found someone fully certified, or are you doing his bachelor, or even 52 credit? No, it's after this one.
you have to have a fully certified,
You have to have a master's degree.
you have to have a master's.
There's a temporary one for this, isn't there, that you can have someone that's not.
Is that for interim? You have to have your master's for interim?
No, not for.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
No,
okay.
but for a regular, clarify, please, are you talking about interim or acquiring a director?
The director, don't they have a certain time period to complete the required credits and stuff for the ALE certified program?
I can't speak to that.
Like an emergency license?
I need to
Yeah,
call
it's
it.
They only can have you can only have somebody not qualified for a person who's not qualified for a year.
Mhm.
Yes, if they are qualified by that time the year is over, they can stay, but if they are not, even if you haven't found another director, that person has to step down and you have to put a different
Right,
person in.
And is
They
it,
won't let the same one keep serving if they didn't finish the qualifications, and if they haven't already started, it takes more than a year.
is that like an emergency license type of thing that GPI does?
What kind of license?
Emergency license?
It's a little, I don't think that's what they call it, but,
It's a temporary certification.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's, cause they're a little different than the schools.
Okay.
I don't know the terminologies, I had to, what the requirements, when I came on board.
No,
I
they're
don't
calling
have a
emergency
license.
license now.
Is that what
So-
they
Yeah.
used to call it?
I know, no, trust me, we've got 3 in Crandon. They're
Kind of
emergency-
getting off track a little bit,
No,
but
this
it's,
is,
but we need to bring these kind of things, you know, out while we're.
Just understand where we're going.
that's
This
a
is a big
36
decision.
It's a 36 credit course though, and it's as far as like, I've seen the different ALA certified programs through Madison and other places, even remote education, and they can be complete within a year from what everything that I looked into.
Well, no one's saying that they can't.
I just did.
Well, I was saying, it's difficult.
You have to get
I
it
mean,
in here.
My son is doing it right now, and it's difficult to do it.
36
You're good if you don't have anything, but it's
36 credits
difficult.
in a year is.
Mine was 41 credit hours, my degree was 36, and I didn't do it in a year.
But that point, but that's another bridge to cross when we start looking at actually hiring a director. Right now, we're just talking about interim.
Yeah.
And I just wanna address the one thing, I would like to know, is there anyone here that has never been unkind? Please speak up.
In the way that she was unkind?
No, I'm saying, has anyone ever been unkind?
Of course, yes.
Okay,
That's not a final answer.
Okay, wait a minute, one at a time. Carol, what's up?
Unless you wanna go back.
Can I ask her a question?
You may? Sure. Of course, as long as you're willing to
It says
answer.
on here that you volunteered at the Antigo Public Library in 2019 to 2020. I would like to know what you did there.
I did shelf reading while Dawn was here before COVID.
You did what?
Shelf reading, so you go through and you check all the books to make sure they're cataloged appropriately, and if they're not, you put them in the right place.
They're not cataloged, but on the shelf
Yes.
appropriately.
oh, right, yes.
It's not like the problem is a whole different matter.
That they're
Like
ordered
children do all the
based
time.
on
Yeah.
their cataloging.
Okay.
I know you
Carol.
said that we couldn't have, comments from the audience, so.
Well, you can ask.
You can ask.
You can ask,
You
yeah.
may ask, but they're not blurting out anything right now.
So, I've not met you before, Tony, I've heard your name and I, glanced through your resume, and, you're a quite educated woman. And I'm just wondering what you can bring to the Antigo Public Library as your strengths. Just 3 or 2 or 1.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot,
Sorry.
like an interview.
One thing I would say is I'm fairly flexible. I do not say no to very much unless it is something I am absolutely sure I am uncomfortable with. And then subsequently, I am very good at asking questions. The other thing is, I teach anthropology, and I have done that for most of my career. I am finishing up in May, my 19th year. When I was in Los Angeles, I taught face-to-face, here I teach online, and I have since I left in 2015, I was caring for my grandmother. I like to see the whole picture, I like to hear from everyone, I like to ask questions, I like to see how things work and how they can be improved in a way that is accessible to everyone. What I enjoyed about teaching first grade was working with the kids and finding ways to make things accessible that are sometimes challenging. I wasn't someone who learned in a traditional way, and so I kind of understand and appreciate that. I also am good at making relationships when it is an open, healthy boundary relationship. I like reaching out to people, I like talking to people. I am mostly an introvert. And because of what I do, that is a big part of it is, in order my brain works different. And so in order to understand others, you have to be willing to listen to them, even if you don't like what they say, because everybody deserves to.
I like the fact, I'm just looking at some of your qualifications, I really like the fact that you work with special education. Those children, well, obviously they have special needs, but so often they're overlooked, and the prospect of you being able to, I mean, Ada, I don't know, I'm not dissing you or anything, but like, understanding like how do we do that, and the inclusion thing of bringing children with special needs, your autism kids, your EBD kids and all that kind of stuff that, so often they're marginalized, and services aren't offered, and we're working on it and stuff like that, but I really appreciate that because no one really knows what it's like to meet those children's needs unless you've worked with them. If you don't have a child that's special needs, or you haven't worked with a special needs child, you're really on the outside of the bubble, and you think you know what needs to be done to help these children. You have to have hands-on experiences with those kids. And I also like the fact that you're an artist and a painter and muralist, because you got some left-hand brain thinking in a right-hand world. Books are very right world, right thinking, the ability to read and comprehend. Yeah, well, yeah, and that's, but it's like, I like the fact that you understand what it's like to be that artistic, that left brain thinker. And I have never met you before, so this is my first time meeting you.
I do have one thing, the one thing that's going to still bother me, because at the finance and personnel meeting of the city council in, the months of, I think it was March, or it might have been February, a statement was made that we only had one staff that was that really worked hard, one staff, and Tony made that comment. So we only had one staff, and I'm worried about the rest of the staff when somebody can make that kind of comment.
Well, my feeling is this,
I was too, and she called out Shannon, she even used the names.
That's what she said.
Nobody can say that they have not been unkind. And wouldn't this be a wonderful opportunity to prove to the community how we can come together, and people, if they've wronged other, we can apologize. What a wonderful opportunity to say, you know what, we're gonna start fresh, I'm gonna forgive you, you're gonna forgive me. How are we need
What
to
are they
model
forgiving
this.
from? What are we forgiving them from?
What you just said, she
No,
called
I'm talking about
names.
forgiving this, what did the staff
I don't know, we
deserve
don't
that
know
statement?
that, we don't know that.
Well, that bothers me that you're not worried about somebody who say that.
This is.
I love my staff, so of course I'm protecting them.
Yes,
and
but what I'm saying,
it's a fine. You're gonna make your decision, but you're gonna have a price to
we have a
pay.
wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, take it.
We have a wonderful
Take
opportunity
it.
to show how
Great
to take the high road and show how to work out problems.
So I have a couple questions for Ms. Hedge.
Okay, Pam?
Tony, what would you do, can you think of some specific things to nurture the relationship with the employees? And second, what would you need for compensation?
Nice, good questions.
First, for the first one, I don't know all of the employees. I can only speak of the ones that I have interacted with, and actually, well, I know quite a few and respect their work and what they do. But starting is getting an understanding of who they are and what they do for the library, and what else they want to do for the library. I mean, relationship building is about what are you good at? What do you like? Where can you grow
And
it?
that's what ours have done, so that's good to hear, because that's what, we have part-timers doing story times, part-timers doing things that are not necessarily desk work, so that's good.
Nice.
That's a good thing, because that's what we want.
Well, thank you for
I
that
like that.
positive affirmation.
I was actually hoping for a little more.
In
well, it's
terms
kind of
of,
on the spot.
I'm a very relational person, very
Yes.
much a feeling person, and, when there are broken probably broken relationships, it's gonna take some mending.
I would say there's at least one employee that I don't actually know. And there's only one that I have had any sort of adverse relationship with in terms of when I come in, she's not smiley or friendly or polite. The others, I've never said anything bad about any of them. At the meeting, I highlighted the fact that there is not consistency at the front desk about people being welcoming, and I gave an example of what I had seen that specific day. I pointed out Jana, because Jana was sitting in front of me, and Jana is better than me. She can talk to anyone. I can't. There are times where with my own sensory things and stuff, I don't have patience. I pointed out Jana because she is better than me. When it comes to being that person on the floor, anytime, every day, all the time. I was not saying she was better than anyone else. She was sitting in front of me and I was highlighting that to me was just the model of what you can do. Jana shows me where I can improve and be better.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, the first impression, and we know those who've been in schools, districts, is your secretary. When you walk into the office, the school office, if your secretary isn't warm and charming and acknowledging you, it can set a parent in a tailspin and set a precedence of them being smeared on public social media that, oh, this school does this and this school does that. And so the fact that you can acknowledge where your shortcomings are and how you want to accentuate somebody else's giftedness in interpersonal relationships says a lot about your character. And I have to say that for you to even be willing to come into this situation, I already feel like it's a hostile situation for you. It's like you've got more chutzpah than I do, more gut than I think I could ever do. So I mean, that's gotta be, people have to acknowledge that that quality, to say, I'm willing to do my best, I'm willing to acknowledge what other people do best, I'm willing to put them first and not myself. That's an admirable character trait.
Can we hear the answer to the second question, please?
What would you need for?
For compensation,
Okay.
I am flexible. My normal job, I make $150 an hour. That's not my expectation. Working in the schools, I made 30, maybe, probably not. So ideally 25 to 30 an hour, whatever that would calculate out to a monthly salary.
And that is something that will be determined.
They have to be
But I
determined through the city. The city has to help determine that, yes.
This is a
We're on the
side.
city scales and everything, we're all city
Yeah.
HR.
I was trying to find, and I'm not so savvy, you can ask my husband on the internet. You know, like anyone can look up teachers and see what their pay is.
Yeah.
What is the pay for the director? It's 68, is it 68? I'm just curious, I couldn't find it.
Okay, for the director, but.
I know, I'm not saying that that's what we need to pay her, I just couldn't
It's
find
grade
it.
11 on the city scale, I know that.
And then like, what do
That might have.
the other women that
grade
are
11 has
employed
changed,
here,
it's
how do
grade
they,
11.
what's their pay, the other women?
Was it 15?
The part-time,
$15 an hour?
the part-time folks, it's on the city
The
scale.
part-time doesn't have, the part-time, anybody that's, the city scale works like this. If you're exempt, which means you're exempt from overtime, you're on a scale. If you're not exempt, then you're just, they have an hourly rate.
Oh, okay.
And so our part-timers start at the same city rate as the cities, which was 15, I think it's up to 50, but it's not, they're not on a scale, they get a cost of living increase every
Okay.
year, they're not, the part-timers and the full-timers who aren't exempt are all on an hourly, wage.
Okay.
So that's how that works, there's only a scale for the exempt employees, so I'm the only one on a scale in the.
Like when you say scales, is that like a step and lane thing?
Yeah, steps,
Yeah, okay,
steps.
okay.
According to their skill level.
Yeah, yep.
Certain steps.
And years, so I suppose every year advances. and then like your skills and,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
many more
yeah.
credits.
Well, I don't know credits, I mean, no, I don't have to do,
Yeah, I know, but what happens if you would get more credits? Does that advance your?
No.
No? Okay. Cause like, you know, public school, they did that.
yeah, the schools, different schools
Bachelor
always have
plus,
done that.
bachelor
Public
plus
libraries
10,
are-
bachelor plus
Yeah,
20.
I've been
But
done
public
that.
service libraries,
No.
that's different animal.
Yep,
Do you
different,
have any
different
other
thing.
questions for Ms. Ed?
Carol?
Carol had one.
Okay, I just was wondering if we could sort of wrap it up. You know, or is this,
I certainly be happy to do that, I just wanna make sure that everybody.
Did you have one
Everybody
question?
has an opportunity right now, this is what we have right now, and so. But if everybody is finished discussing,
Well, how do we go about getting a few other people for the assistant library position at this time?
well,
Can we post it?
You could, I mean, you could talk to Melanie, you certainly could.
We'll need
People
to-
post interim positions all the time.
Well,
I think that
we
we
need to
should
post
post
for
it.
the regular position as soon as possible.
Yeah, we should post for the regular position, I agree
Yeah.
with that,
We
absolutely.
need someone in the next like week though, for like.
That's
Doesn't
another
take-
And technically, we already said.
we don't
overall,
know,
nominate.
we
It
don't
Second
know.
might take a week or two, but they also send you the physical, I mean, it takes, usually by the time we've hired somebody, it's a couple weeks before they can come. So I
point
mean,
of
put me
order-
on their schedule, but that's my experience when I've hired.
I think that it should be posted, the assistant and then the.
But
Okay,
we
but
have,
I-
director.
well, we do have a motion on the floor,
Right,
so
right.
I am aware of that, is that your point?
Yes.
Thank you. We do have a motion on the floor, so,
And a second.
unless you, and a second, unless you would like to withdraw those.
No, I would
No.
not.
I would like to table that motion.
Okay,
wanna
so-
table it till,
Well,
Can I speak on that?
yes,
If it's gonna take that long to run things through HR,
yeah,
I would like to see us go ahead with a vote, because there's gonna be a certain amount of time where it's going to be the staff taking care of things without an interim director.
If the staff doesn't want to do the director position right now for the interim, you know, I'd rather get someone on board right now to fill the interim, cause they don't want to. So Tony's the only option that we have on the table right now, right?
But they can do the work, I've been on vacation, believe it or not, since I've been here, they've managed for a couple weeks at a time without, you know, they know how to do payroll, they know how to do invoices.
well,
They
the
don't
thing is,
particularly wanna, nobody in our staff wants to deal particularly with the volatile situation, and that's nothing to do with the task, or they're perfectly capable and aware of it, they're not interested.
We have to interact with someone though at the head of this, and if they don't wanna interact with us, I have to have someone who, Tony, do you wanna do this?
For interim, yes, I do believe posting for a full-time director is the appropriate thing, and the sooner that can be done, the
Okay.
better.
and okay, so like we have a motion on the floor,
correct.
so we have to vote on it.
Let's call the question.
Yeah, what was that,
And-
Carol?
Call the question. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I'll call the question.
All right. I will take roll call vote. So all in favor of appointing Tony Edge as an interim library director?
Well, roll call, you're gonna do individual, correct?
That's what I said I
Oh,
was going to do,
okay.
yes, I'm going to do it individually,
Alright.
so, so I would ask all in favor of that, and I'll start with Pam,
Yes.
Carol Bartle,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes,
Carol McDougal,
yes,
I vote no. Christian,
Yeah, I like Tony.
Barb?
No.
Motion carries. Tony will be the new interim director,
when do we wanna pick a time, or should we start on Monday? Oh, no, just wait.
That's another HR.
yes, it will be.
They'll tell her when she can
It
start.
will be effective as soon as she as soon as HR,
Okay.
not as soon as she meets with them, but as soon as they tell her, not our decision.
Technically, does she have to wait till after the 27th, on our last day? I would think so.
Well, yes, I
Yes.
mean, that would
Yeah, I just wanna make sure,
be the
with the polite, the
Be the-
proper.
proper thing to do,
Yeah,
yes,
we
of
need
course.
Melanie and I
So,
and
Yeah, I
Mike
turned in
for-
all of the paperwork for voting because I worked the voting, so it
Oh,
was.
It's not gonna be the same completely as that, though.
Yes, there will be additional stuff, but they do have my W-2 and
Okay.
Right.
other things.
No, that's waiting on that.
So can we still have some discussion
They have to do
as
background
far as
checks
this goes?
We have to go.
Physicals and all
Can
that
we
stuff.
meet again? I'd like to make a motion,
Oh,
That
you would like another meeting, is it?
yes.
I thought you
To
meant,
do
did you
what?
want more discussion now, or do you want to have another meeting?
I would like to make a motion that we meet again in 2 weeks and see how everything's going. If she started, and I think that we should,
Do you have a specific date that you wanna meet?
2 weeks from today.
Okay,
Which
we've got
is
the
May
calendar in front of them.
May 8th.
Okay.
Thursday,
Okay, and what time,
5
Pam,
o'clock, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock here?
So Thursday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, 8th is Wednesday.
Thursday, Thursday, the 9th, and then this,
Okay, because, okay,
Is that what you're saying?
you're right.
Thursday, May 9th, is it May 9th?
Yes.
Then, okay, Thursday, May 9th, 5 P.M. here. Special meeting, and what is it specifically you want on that agenda, because we're gonna have to, have the agenda put together, so.
It will be determined by how soon HR gets her into position. We would wanna see how everything's going. Now, we can stop in and visit with the employees, but we as a board should get together.
But just wanna keep, when you say that, just as a little caveat there, yes, of course, you can do that, but I would caution you on, trying to doing your best not to make the employees.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I don't wanna see them,
Yeah.
made to feel uncomfortable, yes.
Do we also need to address starting the look for the
Yes,
permanent director?
Sure,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
So that should be.
Yeah,
addressed.
cause you had said something, who was gonna get in, who we rely on or turn to help with the posting, you said?
HR will help us
Okay,
with that.
okay.
It is outlined in your
Yes, I
trustee
saw that.
essentials,
Yes, I gotta
okay,
get
so you
some of
need to
those.
read that, you need to read those. You really need to do that, we all need to do that, cause we don't do this often, so it's, but as I recall, when Don left and when we hired Ada, that, I believe, cause I wasn't, I was, as a member of the board, I didn't have an office or anything at that point. So I believe that, most of the work was done, there's a job description on file.
They have it at City Hall.
And they have-
we have it, but they have it at City Hall.
Okay, so we have a job description that we can work off of, can be revised as needed, whatever, and then you work with HR and.
It'll be new for her too, because she's new, the last time they did this process, Deb Evers was HR, and now it's Melanie Ryan, so she'll also be learning as you are, just, but
Right.
just because since she's been, and we haven't had to hire anybody at the library, so she's never worked with the library at all for hiring yet.
So we have
So I
discussion
would
going
assume
on,
it would
we didn't
be-
get a
We
second.
didn't get a second, right, I know.
Oh, okay, right.
Because
Well,
we
you don't have to have motions for meetings, you can just make a meeting.
we don't have to have a motion, we can
Yeah.
just plan to have one, yes.
Well, I
Do we
could've
need
just
to
said it without
invite
motion then.
someone from personnel from City Hall at that meeting to have a
I
discussion?
would
Yeah.
say that you would certainly want Melanie here, you would possibly, if Kay is back, her mom passed away, so that's why she's not around.
So will you include that then in the?
You would?
agenda?
Melanie here?
I think so, I think, yes.
Deb was always really active in that process.
Actually ran those meetings and helped us.
Yep.
So are we waiting 2 weeks to cast the net then? So this next meeting, are we in for that meeting then?
No, it's all.
I need the job.
I think we should post it
Oh, the
immediately.
job.
Yeah, the
As
job.
soon as possible.
Like if we,
You have to let HR do it,
well, we can do the bare
But
minimum
who is-
requirements and
I-
start
who
seeing
is
who's
approached
interested in the
HR?
community.
No one yet.
You can't, you actually have to go through HR to post the position.
HR motions the position?
yes,
That's
yes.
all they
Yes, they post it, you
do
have to
all
go
of
through
that,
HR.
The city,
Well,
because the
let's start.
city is in charge of,
They are HR
So
fiscal
do we-
agent.
are
You
you-
have-
does the board of trustees ask the city to begin the process?
Yes, but they
Sure,
do have to do
sure.
it, you can't do it yourself
Yeah,
without.
right, yes,
So you-
we can ask them, I guess it falls to me, but,
On
yeah.
Monday here.
Well,
Yeah.
we can like just search for people who might be interested in the position and then have them apply to the normal HR things. I was trying to find someone who was interim in the 2-day period, but like I didn't find anyone really good for that. But the next month I can steer in that direction. I need to know who's interested though. Without a job.
For the permit director
Yeah,
position.
just like a teaser thing.
Do you know a lot of MLS people running around?
Not here.
Well, then you're probably not gonna do worry about that.
Didn't our payroll company to do that?
This is that.
She said, didn't we hire a company.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, we just went.
We've done that before in the school district, twice in Crander. We paid $10,000 each to find someone, and it was both of them were,
We used to hire down.
they were actually non-renewed and Escalade both superintendents, and we spent $20,000 for it.
I'm thinking of a city.
It was what Chet said when we hired Don, but that was before my time on the board. So,
And they came up with 3 names or something.
all right, so,
Madam President, just a
yes.
Carol was saying she noticed that Stevens Point was hiring, so it might be to our advantage to call the HR at Stevens Point and get the names of their second and third choices in terms of someone to reach out to.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea, because a lot of times the people are willing
I'm
to
not sure they can
relocate,
give you
travel.
that.
What?
I'm not sure they can give you that
Well,
information.
we could have them send it to our
We
HR,
We
I mean,
can
just
ask them to forward.
contact.
Well, the
Yes.
person would have to approve it. I wouldn't wanna know
Well,
that an employer was
exactly.
sending out my stuff
It's
to other
just
places.
another
So I
way
have
of
no knowledge of
contact.
it.
We could
Don't
ask
bother
them
with
to
that.
Tell that
contact us.
person
Right.
that we're looking.
Right,
Okay.
right.
You could ask them to
Kind of
say
an
that there's a position open in Antwerp.
So, let me come back to this, so, in 2 weeks, we're going to have, meeting at 5 p.m.
On Thursday.
Especially that we, and we're gonna, is going to, discussion or whatever on the agenda about how things are going with the interim.
Yep.
And, have the, and then discussion of, the process involved for hiring the new director.
Is that on the 9th?
Yes,
On
that's,
Thursday, the
yes,
ninth.
yes.
Maybe
If that's-
direct
if that's-
Tony then to, in preparation, if she comes with any questions or concerns, then just
She should bring them to that.
to that
Okay.
meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
okay, that'd be fine.
And then we're gonna reach out to, you said who, on the city council to be here?
No,
HR.
Or HR, I'm sorry,
From the city.
No, not the council.
Okay, sorry.
HR.
Okay.
To be
And
here on the
Cheryl,
next.
you're going to go to HR,
What, pardon me?
and you're going to HR to start the process of advertising for a
I
permanent.
guess I can do that.
Unless you wanna sign somebody
I
to
was
do
just
it.
going to say that somebody, if somebody else wants to do that, that'd be fine.
I'll do that.
Okay.
And then so,
Carol's gonna reach out to HR to get the posting started. Okay.
And will there be any onboarding for?
Will there be any what?
Onboarding for Tony, from, would you be?
I won't be able to. I'll be gone by the time they ever approve, no.
Okay,
I won't be able to do that. I'm sorry.
oh, you mean something like a type of mentoring type thing or something?
You know, sure, onboarding is done by HR.
Oh,
So-
okay, that part. I just meant to the job, you know, what the job is like. No,
I'm not gonna be available for that.
sorry, we'll be here though. We'll try to.
Okay.
The other thing I would just say to Tony, offer, I mean, I don't know how this would look, but like if you feel, not that it would be the thing, but like to try to build cohesiveness in groups. You know, a lot of times businesses will send you on like these group building activities, like, you know, where you have to.
Like an escape room or something?
Yeah, yes, thank you. I was thinking of those ones like those jungle gyms and you're swinging and that kind of stuff. My question, what I wanna offer to Tony is if you feel that there's anything that we can do as a board to facilitate developing positive relationships. I'm not saying go to an escape room or anything like that, but, you know, we can be creative, like how can we facilitate and do some support for everybody? For your full-time employees, your part-time employees, whomever was involved. That's
They
not.
usually like escape rooms, actually. We did one in here at a staff training day. They had a really good time. So,
Okay,
actually,
so
so you said that example made me laugh. We actually did that. So.
Okay, so, you know, that might be
It was
something.
Nancy Drew based, you know, literature and all. They had a good time.
Is that one still open down on Fifth?
No, they're closing
There's
it in
a
Escape
very good
Smash It.
one over in Wausau.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, they've got 3, but we've been.
Yeah, so no, we did that.
But I mean, something like that, where we offer help, because there's something about laughter, there's something about having to work together, there's something about,
Lots of laughter.
yeah, all that stuff
Actually, it
to.
would be good to include the board members.
Oh, yes!
Because I think we are 18,
Now we can-
except Carol said axe throwing, but I'm not.
No,
Probably won't work in
We're
this
not
room.
doing that.
No.
All right, So, the next regularly scheduled meetings are scheduled for, Monday, May 20th for finance and personnel, so Pam, you will be chairing that. And then our next regular board meeting is, Tuesday, May 28th, 5 PM. So that will be probably a heavy agenda because that will, we have election of officers, appointment of committees, that all will take place, so. So that all has to be, ironed out too, and so. If there is nothing else at this time,
Well, I don't know if this is appropriate to address, but I'd kinda like to address Chet, because I understand where your motion was to ask for email notifications to the public when you CC others. The reason I CC'd others, and I'm assuming you're talking to the email I sent to Cheryl.
No, he was talking about
I'm talking about, I would like to receive an email when notice.
You would like to
Yes.
receive it.
when there's meetings
I would
happening.
like the
Oh, okay.
public to be able to receive, if you
Like
send
the
out.
meetings?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I'm concerned because right now I can find out because they're posted on the website.
Right,
They're on the website,
okay.
not Facebook. I'm talking on your website.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm concerned because of the lack of who's going to have the opportunity to do all of it. Things may fall through the cracks.
Good job.
So I have the county email me with
Yeah.
notices.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the board, but I've always had the county emailing me with notices, and I have the city email.
So would it be, so anyone who wants to sign up for receiving these emails?
Yes,
is that
that's
what
Yes,
you're saying?
basically that's what I
Yeah.
was asking.
Kinda like a dialer caller thing that they
Are
have.
you a member of Friends of the Library?
I am.
That might be a good avenue
Oh, yeah,
to use that list.
yeah.
As he
That would be the decision of the friends of whether they wanna release the list, but I'm saying
Oh,
give
true.
people an opportunity.
That's true, we could just.
People might not want their, not everybody is gonna necessarily want it.
That's true.
I'm just saying give people an opportunity should they desire.
Good point. It could be included in the newsletter. There's a newsletter, Antigo Public Library newsletter.
Oh,
And
that's right.
there's already a list for it because I get it, and that would be a very easy way to
Yeah.
incorporate it. These are the upcoming meetings.
Yeah, well, my only thing was, I was just, it's kind of shocking to me, in a matter of 2 days, or less than 2 days, how the new board was already smeared on social media as being called completely incompetent. And the whole story wasn't told. Yes, no one knew what to do when a no vote was when a no vote went. And I was sharing with Cheryl, in 11 years, none of my minutes were ever non-approved. Because when we got to is there a motion? Is there a second? Then there was, and somehow we skipped that, just accidentally. I mean, there's so much commotion, it was the first one, like, oh, can I get it together? That all of a sudden, we were going into a vote. And we needed to say, is there any discussion or any corrections? And we would have said our corrections, and okay, and then it would have been, are there any objections to these corrections? And there were, because you said you agreed, yep, you're right, this is a special meeting, and yep, you're right, Pam wasn't there, so there was no objections to the corrections. I mean, we clarified that it was a legal meeting, so that objection was taken care of, and then the other two, you agreed that those were wrong. And then it should have been to the next level of then, okay, are we going to approve the minutes as per corrected? And it didn't, it was just like, here minutes, and we're like, no board that has any knowledge and integrity would approve minutes that are incorrect. These are legal documents once they're approved. And so we were made to look like fools that we didn't know what we were doing. And I'm assuming Cheryl didn't know what to do. Alderman Glenn didn't know what to do, because we never had no, we're not going it, because there was just this little hiccup that we forgot to say, are there any concern or discussions or corrections?
I believe I did say, is there any discussion?
Okay, but no
For the motion,
corrections.
But the corrections, and the corrections has never come up,
Yeah.
And we are only, after all, on this board, just ordinary citizens
Yes.
with not a professional background in any of it, which is why, you know, I have tried to utilize members of the community, you know, when we get into those circumstances. I don't
Which is why
profess
we
to
would like
be
the
the
public to
expert.
know.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
what we
just-
would like the public to know.
I've just been trying to, you know, run these to the best of my ability.
Yeah, and I'm not faulting you at all, Cheryl. I'm not saying like, oh, you did this on purpose, and, no, I'm not. There's Lord have mercy, yeah, you know.
So-
But I'm just saying, already, we are blackballed as completely incompetent. And that bothers me, because that was not what happened here. No one was being intentionally ignorant, and it's like, we got a lot of degrees sitting around here. A lot of bachelors, a lot of masters. We're not stupid people, like you said.
We have a lot of experience too, the rest of us.
You have a business, you have a successful business, honey, I'm gonna tell you. But anyways, I'm just saying
I get it, you know, and the times we live in, social media is what it is, good or bad or indifferent, and there's not a lot we can, you know, I don't know how that we can remedy those situations. We can only do what we can only do, the best we can do. And then with that, yes.
Yeah, who's in charge for social media right now, for the library, on Facebook and everything else?
like the
There's
Facebook.
a bunch of, several of us,
Okay, so it's
not
just
just
like
one
a
person.
publicly shared thing?
It's a shared task.
Well, of the workers here.
Okay, they all have access to it?
As far as like admin to it,
Yeah.
like admin decisions to it, like
Yeah.
posting, well, yeah,
And
okay.
deleting comments and everything else.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
about-
anyone that works for the library can do that stuff, to like delete comments.
Yeah.
How do you get these
No,
Facebook notices? I don't get anything.
you don't get Facebook?
I
You
have.
have-
Facebook.
Have you liked our
You have to
page?
join the group.
Have you joined our
Yeah.
page?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you just, it would just be in your feed. We don't like send out things on Facebook.
There are notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn on
You can
Yeah, it's
turn
probably
it
not
on
on.
and
Yeah,
it'll
you
give
have
you
to turn
notifications.
notifications on
You just
your
have to
site.
select
We're getting
it.
off topic, we're not.
Sure are.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Discussion.
It's no discussion, yeah, it's just bringing clarity.
I would,
And I'm like, I don't know why they do them.
I would,
All right.
I would.
And I don't think I wanna get them. They're that negative.
I like-
Well, yeah, we're completely.
I would
incompetent,
like
just
to
so you
have a
know.
motion to adjourn this meeting.
Hey, a second.
No, you have to have a motion first.
Oh,
She was
She
asking.
did, oh, okay.
Who made the motion?
I make a motion.
You're
to close
making the
meeting.
motion to
Okay.
adjourn, you're a second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, do I have any discussion about that? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Motion carries. Thank you all very much for your
And we did,
attentiveness.
by the way, that Cheryl mentioned the adjournment, that we did adjourn the meeting on Tuesday.
Oh, we didn't take photos afterwards, that was.
No, that was on there from a past thing. It's on the video and it was in my notes. I had it in my notes and then I watched the video and it's identical to my notes, that Carol made a motion to adjourn and Barb seconded it and you did a voice vote and it was aye.
Okay. That's my bad, because I was like, wait, because
I
I felt we got, because it was a long meeting.
but I checked my notes and then I watched the end of the video and they matched.
Okay,
So,
good. Thank
we
you.
did adjourn, just so you
Hey,
know.
because I was like, dang, how do you
But
text that?
technically, Ben taught us that if you finished all the business, you don't really have to adjourn, he says. 'Cause he would fuss at us for adjourning when we had done all the business. Even though we would do it anyway, because we felt like we needed to say, we're done.
Yeah, well, also like, when you adjourn, a lot of times like they'll call the time too.
Right,
so you
yeah,
know.
and I put the time down, that's what they had matched, so we
Okay.
did adjourn. So
Okay,
don't
thank
worry.
you for
You're welcome.
that.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about video, when you find out.
Yeah.
You find out that you did do it.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you. All right, so.
Thank you for the cheat sheet.
Oh. Was it helpful? Well, what I liked about this one is it goes through, I'm a graph person, I like looking at graphs.
The other one's over there.
Yeah, when it's just paragraphs, you like, print out words like, just little things, you say, can you interrupt, yes or no, do you need a second, yes or no, you say, it's very clear.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you gotta majority or no, or just cheers.
Apparently we're going out to eat. Good night, Dan. Chad.
Yes.
I know she said.
Well, I can't, Cheryl, I
On board? Good.
I made two of them.
I know, and you've been, you've had surgery and stuff, and